Hey guys, this is Biney, and today we will be talking about Minecraft Caves and Cliffs 1.17, the brand new update that is rolling out mid-2021. This update contains a lot of new stuff, so we better get started. Number 1, caves. They are completely improving the cave generation. It is crazy how cool these new caves are looking. I mean, look at that. It goes down into a cave underwater with this beautiful scenery, and as you can see, lots of ores around, but actually not a lot in this shot. Then it goes back up into air where it has this giant hole carved out, and then you have these wonderful things. Look at those giant pillars. Before it was a thing of it's difficult to move around because it's so small, and now it's difficult to move around because it's so big. You could literally fly through them with elytra. It is crazy how big this all is, and plus there's a giant lake. Look how big that lake is. It's absolutely gigantic. And I think that this is a cave update that we've all been wanting, and there's even this green grass that are in the middle of caves. I absolutely love it. Next is the Lush Cave. It is a brand new type of cave and it is marked with an azalea tree, and it is so much more helpful than what it normally is, mainly because I can find where stuff is. I mean, there are new things. There are the glow berries that you guys are seeing right now. They have the spore blossoms, which is the pink thing that you see, the bright pink thing that looks like a flower hanging on top of the ceiling. I don't know what that's going to be doing, but it looks really interesting. And finally, the next type of cave that they are introducing is the dripstone cave. They are adding two main things: stalagmites and stalactites. They are two completely different things. The ones at the bottom are the tights, the ones at the top. The ones at the bottom are the mites, and the ones at the top are the tights. Now, look, it's so cool. And I mean, when you break it, as you guys can see, now it drops off into shards which you can create later, I am guessing. And look, even when that zombie falls off, it deals damage. It immediately killed him. That must be so good for any type of trap or some kind of mob form. It would easily help. Number 2, new items / things. This is the drip leaf plant. It looks very cool. It will probably be very helpful, and I can imagine this as a very good way to design a mob farm. If mobs can spawn on these, it will be the most efficient mob farm ever. When it sees something, it immediately drops it down, and look at this. Boop. When entities are on it, it drops. And that is so cool. I think that this will be cool for me. I will like it, and I feel like it will be great for some kind of mob farm or something. Next is an amazing thing that will completely change how Mumbo Jumbo does his videos. The skulk sensor and the skulk growth. When noise comes, it listens to it and actually sends a signal to the skulk sensor, and that creates a redstone signal, meaning that you can literally have some kind of thing where when it happens, when there is a thing, you could make like some sort of piston door or some sort of elevator where as soon as it walks by, it triggers the thing and it realizes that you're there, and then suddenly you have this amazing thing that'll probably be so cool. And as you can see, they even demonstrate it in the live. When there is a noise, it brings it back to the sensor, and wool can stop the noise. For example, it hears it, and it triggers the piston, but since there's wool, it doesn't hear it. But without the wool, it creates an infinite loop. The piston creates a noise, and it triggers that. So isn't that really cool? And wireless wisdom is literally confirmed. They made an entire thing about it. You can make some sort of occultation like this, where you surround it in wool except for the part that's being come from and the part's going to, and then create a giant firework in the sky. Next, amethyst geodes. These geodes are places in caves that you could only find in caves. These amethysts only grow in these geodes, and you cannot make artificial geodes, and you can't make it go any faster. I do not think. So you can only farm it by going to it each and every time and getting it, which I think this is amazing. It looks so beautiful and it looks amazing. I can't imagine how many things you'll be able to craft with this. But they did give us one, the telescope. And oh my goodness, do I love this. It can zoom in. And you might be like, well, dude, you could just mod your Minecraft game to make it like this. But for me, console players and mobile players who don't have the access to mobs and servers, the telescope is a way to zoom in without having to download some sort of thing where you could download mods and do stuff, and that is just plain cool, man. You could do that and it'll be awesome. So I cannot imagine how cool it'll be for me using the telescope in mid-2021. Next, copper. It is a brand new ore that I think will be great. It will completely change the game. As you can see, it drops in an ore, not like diamonds, where it just drops the thing, it drops the ore. And as you can see, you can make half slabs and stairs. But the coolest thing is the oxidation process. They actually made it so that way copper oxidizes just like it does in real life. And that is super cool, man. I love it. And not only that, but you can create something with the copper. You can create the lightning rod. The lightning rod is great for people who have like things where we have like a giant wood roof village or a wood roof house, and when there's lightning it destroys it. This will create it so that way that does not happen. And I mean, it just looks so small and tiny, but it really does a lot for everybody who has problems with lightning and everything else. It is just such a good idea that I think is amazing. Next, the bundle. It is such a Minecraft way to make a brand new storage type. It is so easy. I mean, look, you can make 2 half stacks into 1 full stack, which, I mean, that's not helpful, but here's what's great. You could put in half a stack of glass and half a stack of iron, and it puts it all in 1 stack. That is great. And you could even put all these flowers together. So if you have lots of lava buckets and water buckets, you could all put them into a single bundle, and then you have a giant amount of water buckets and lava buckets all in 1 inventory slot, so everything is much better. And as you guys can see, they have multiple different kinds of bundles. For example, you could have a food bundle, you could have a redstone bundle, you could have a pickaxe bundle, you could have a tool bundle, you could have so many different bundles, and it is just so cool, and I think that I'm going to very enjoy this feature when it comes out. Next, archaeology. This is a really weird thing to add into Minecraft, I feel. The brush is also interesting. As you guys can see, they go through and you could dust it down, which is interesting because that means that they're going to have to make separate textures for each layer, which does make it a bit interesting, so you can make really cool builds with it. And also, it's really funny because this guy thinks that he's got a diamond block and then it doesn't come, and it's just so funny because he messed up. But they also made clay pots, which I just skipped by because I don't like watching all that, as you can see going through getting the shards. As you guys can see, he is putting all the shards into a clay pot. It looks like that. It looks like it's a new entity, and you put it on and you could do stuff like this. I don't think I'm going to be using that a lot unless it's some sort of thing you could put stuff in, but I think there are better decorations if it's just decoration, and I think that there are better ways for decoration if it is just for decoration. So, archaeology, interesting, not a strong point for me though. Next, the Warden. Oh my god, I love this. This is such a good idea. Oh my gosh, I love it. It is amazing. I cannot wait to use the Warden in the game. It is probably going to be so much fun. As you guys can see, it completely changed the light levels. There are new candles, the skulk sensors and skulk growth are part of it, and it's changing the light thing. No mob ever changes the light level. And this is actually pretty interesting for me. I don't know about this. Is this some sort of thing that naturally spawns that you can loot? Is it some sort of thing that he made? I don't know. But if it's something you can loot, that'd be really cool. Also, you guys can see there are the new types of rocks, which looks kind of interesting. I don't know if it's a new type or just something that's put in a different way, but it looks cool. Next, and boom, Warden, right there. He runs away. And as you guys can see, he only hears. He is completely blind. He cannot see. So when there is a noise, it goes to the skulk center, and then it goes to him so he can hear it. As you guys can see, he's right next to him, and they don't see. But he does that, and it goes over there. And then he runs away. But as you guys can see, it's starting to do that. And then he shoots. Boom. Boom. And then look at that, it does that weird attack, which looks interesting, but it is so fast for a heavy damaging and heavy health mob. You guys see how fast he is? He is basically as fast as a player could sprint backwards. And look at that, ready? Look at how many hearts that is. Boom! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 hearts with full netherite armor on. That must be so strong. It could one-shot you without any good armor. And then, look, all of these hits with the netherite sword. Boom, 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 boom. And he still dies. He had all those hits with the bow, all those hits with the sword, and he still died. That was a netherite sword. I cannot wait to see how cool it's going to be. Next, you have the axolotls. These look like a very interesting mob that could be very useful and very cool. They spawn in lush caves apparently, and look how cute they are. Now, these things are apparently dangerous to things like guardians and drowned, so you could get a fleet of them and just attack. They could also heal you, and of course, like other fish, you could put them in a bucket. So I cannot wait for that. Well, I forgot to put an input capture, so you guys didn't hear what I said. I did not get any footage of the glow squid, but it is apparently very, very cool. But it's actually not. I did not vote glow squid. I vote ice illager all the way. I think that most people thought that it was actually going to hypnotize you, but it's not. So sad. But besides for that, I think that this could be a very interesting type of mob. The glow squid doesn't actually glow, so sadness, but yeah. The glow squid, no. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am so sorry I haven't posted in a long time. Let's just say that I have school and it is very hard to do both at the same time. Also, I don't have my electronics. I was only able to stream yesterday or today or whenever this video comes out because my dad was nice to me and I had extra time. But that's pretty much it for today. I hope that you all have a wonderful day. This was a rundown of the Caves and Cliffs update 1.17, and yeah, I'll see you all later.